Gamescom 2018 was a glitzy, vibrant showcase of some of the biggest upcoming games, with titles like Cyberpunk 2077, Sekiro and Battlefield 5 stealing the show. But there were loads of games on the show floor that you may have missed, which are equally worthy of your time and excitement. Here are 9 intriguing titles you may have missed from Gamescom 2018. Anno 1800 is a very big deal for any strategy fans, and if you like your RTS games steamy and industrial, it's very unlikely that you missed this one. And moreover, it won Gamescom's Best PC Game of the Show award, so it is a pretty big deal. But despite all this, not that many people are talking about this crisp strategy sequel. After jumping to the future in Anno 2205, the follow-up returns to terra firma in an age of steam and empire building. The ideal setting for anyone looking to expand their borders via diplomacy, trade or warfare. And as an Anno game, it brings all the stuff the series is famous for being brilliant at: engaging city building, a deeply customizable sandbox mode, and a rich, story-driven campaign. If you're hungry to prove your worth as a ruler through logistics, exploration, or just straight-up conquest, Anno 1800 will give you the chance when it arrives on the 26th of February 2019. One thing we've discovered doing lists about Metroidvania games here at Logitech G is that we're still missing Castlevania Symphony of the Night, the game which partly inspired that portmanteau title. But Bloodstained Ritual of the Night from former Castlevania series producer Koji Igarashi aims in some small way to fix that. It's a spiritual successor that stars Miriam, an orphan imbued with the power of demonic crystals. This means lots of fighting and exploring in a rich, gothic 2D environment full of demons and monsters and sinister magic. There's a stack of gear to find and equip, and all the weapons feel pleasingly different, giving this a feel of a very modern platform game that still retains the magic and nostalgia of Castlevania. And yes, of course, one of the weapons is a whip. We've covered Indivisible in the past, but it's interesting enough to keep talking about. It's an entirely hand-drawn RPG come platformer from the creative talent behind Skullgirls. And that rich, artistic heritage shows in every frame of Indivisible. As well as hero Ajna, you meet a host of bizarre, brilliant characters along the way, who join your party and pop out whenever you enter combat, hence the Indivisible bit in the title. It's a smart twist on turn-based RPGs that requires impeccable timing and on-the-fly thinking that feels pleasingly unlike many other games. But the thing that really surprised me playing it was the script. It's bright, funny and unusual, and does a great job of imparting character to the oddball cast of adventurers you meet on Ajna's journey. Stay tuned for more on Indivisible in 2019.
Not again.
Alright, for everyone expecting waggle dances and pollen management and immaculately crafted wax hexagons, we've got some bad news. Bee Simulator isn't really a simulator at all, but a cheerful arcade adventure developed to draw attention to the environmental plight of the oh-so-essential honeybee. So there's a very wholesome message behind this adorably sweet game. There's also something rather nice about buzzing around in a world full of giant humans, animals, and delightfully poppable balloons. So while it might not be realistic, it's still a vibrant, cheerful alternative to the grim-dark grittiness we sometimes see from games. And even better, it also means you'll be able to sting stuff without watching your precious bee die a prolonged death as a barbed hook tears its tiny body apart. Perhaps they're saving that for the hardcore DLC. The adorable and thoughtful Bee Simulator will be out later this year. If you were actually at Gamescom, you almost certainly didn't miss Biomutant, because the banners were hanging everywhere. Look, there's one in the background of one of our other videos, but there hasn't actually been that much news about it. And people who actually got to see Biomutant came away with the same impressions. Firstly, that it looks pleasingly different, and secondly, that it looks utterly, amazingly bizarre. It's an open-ended game starring a customizable cat-raccoon thing set in a post-apocalyptic open world. And customization really is the watchword here. You can recode your own genetic structure to change the way your character looks and plays, adding anything from mantis claws to telekinesis. And Biomutant also uses a unique martial arts-based combat system which lets you learn new wushu moves like an adorably fluffy Jet Li. And yes, I do realise how odd all that sounds, but at least we're hitting the intriguing bit of the title of this video. Biomutant arrives on December the 31st, 2018. It's time to get away from the stresses and strains of every other game on this list, to let your mind drift away and be peaceful as you listen to the lap of water at your feet. Or, hair across a lake in a powerboat. Fishing Sim World from Dovetail Games is all about exactly how you want to tackle things. Now with the addition of boats, you can take to the lakes to hunt down your prizes using the built-in fish sonar tracker. Plus, just like in the real world, sorry that's the last fishing pun, your fishing experience will depend entirely on where and when you're tossing out your line. Time of day and even weather will affect what you catch, and you'll find yourself happily whiling away the hours as you try and tick off every species. With everything crafted as close to real life as possible, your winter fishing fix starts here. Desperados 3 was announced during Gamescom 2018, something that might have slipped by unnoticed while your focus was on another, less PC-friendly Wild West game. But if you're after something to ease the pain of not playing Red Dead 2, or if you just love the fantastic original Desperados games, this sequel from Mimini Studios is absolutely worth your attention. Developed by the same people who gave us the incredible Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun, Desperados 3 is a real-time strategy game that has you controlling a band of, you guessed it, Desperados, led by series favourite John Cooper. Every tough-as-nails challenge will have a variety of solutions, and only the correct application of the team's varied skills will lead to success. Now seems like the ideal time for Desperados to make a comeback, and the third game will be released in 2019. If you've played a Trials game before, you know the drill here. Balance your fearless rider perfectly as you hurtle across tracks that really should have better safety signage, while other equally stupid, or brave, riders do the same. Trials Rising is everything you love about the series boiled down to a concentrated, engine-flavoured soup. The tracks are bigger and better this time around, complete with a theme park to risk your life through, and competition hots up as you get notifications when fellow racers have beaten your times. There's also an utterly ridiculous tandem mode where you and a friend share half the balancing and gas. No, it definitely won't go according to plan. You can probably put a bandage on that. There's even a stack of personalisation options this time around as you choose your victory stance, losing pose, helmet accessories, and new items of clothing. Just don't expect it to protect you from the pain. Trials Rising will shatter your bones in February 2019. No, TT Games isn't brickrolling you. It's finally time to get the true supervillain story we all deserve. LEGO DC Supervillains at last gives the bad guys their time to shine outside of Arkham Asylum. While the Joker and friends are of course here and completely playable, your central hero, or villain, is now completely customizable. Start the game and you'll create your very own evil hairstyle, nefarious clothing, and of course nasty powers that'll have you monologuing at the Dark Knight in no time at all. Plus, if you don't like any of the powers you've given yourself, you can change them as you travel through the campaign. Throw in dangerous amounts of fan service with villains you've never even heard of, as well as some you definitely have, and this trip to Gotham and Metropolis is another satisfying addition to the stud-packed series. LEGO DC Supervillains shares its deliciously evil plans in October of this year.
They don't play fair!
So there you go, 9 slightly off-piece titles from Gamescom you may have missed. Did you spot anything on the show floor you're especially excited about? And are there any upcoming games you think should be on this list? Let us know in the comments, hit that like button if you'll be picking up any of these games, and subscribe to Logitech G for more weekly shows and features.